Well, hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another beautiful day of UPSL footy. We are here live from George Mason campus in Fairfax, Virginia, which will play home to your St. James FC as they host the one and only Virginia Dream here, match week 3 of the UPSL Virginia North Conference. St. James looking to find their first points of the campaign. It's been rough sledding in the first couple weeks, and it doesn't look to get any easier today against a perennial powerhouse in Virginia Dream FC. Virginia Dream, of course, coming off another historic U.S. Open Cup run, knocking off another professional side in the first round, the Carolina Core, before falling to the USL champions, the incumbent champions of 2025, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. So certainly there is a tall test in order today. Virginia Dream also made it to the second round, lost last year, falling to our very own Loudoun United in a 4-2 scoreline. Let us know where you're tuned in from, and of course, players to watch out for. Any thoughts, any predictions, get the scoreline in the chat before we kick off. And of course, engage with DMV Sports Media. We're so happy to have you, and we'll have this match broadcast. Share the link out with all your friends, family, and anyone who may benefit. If it's not too much to ask, hit the like button on the video to boost us in the algorithm. Each like helps this video and these players, teams, and coaches get the exposure that they deserve. So hit the like, subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all the best amateur and semi-professional footy here on DMV Sports Media. We'll get match kickoff in a moment after the walkout, the anthem, and all the pre-match festivities. Not too late to get out here. So if you're in the area in Northern Virginia, come on out to the George Mason Recreation Field. That's the RAC Field on the George Mason Fairfax campus. But if that's not feasible, we're glad to have you on the channel, and we'll see you in a moment for match kickoff here on DMV Sports Media YouTube. Well, hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As promised, match kickoff is upon us. The walkout, the anthem, and then game time here at George Mason University. This is UPSL Virginia North Premier Conference. St. James FC hosting Virginia Dream. We'll be right with you after the walkout and anthem. Get those score predictions in and let us know where you're watching from. Hit the like button and subscribe. I'm Noah Walker with DMV Sports Media. We're really glad to have you with us. We will now rise and honor the flag with the playing of our nation's national anthem. Welcome, Miss Jordan. Says, let's go Ghost. You got this. Grandma watching all the way from Portsmouth, Virginia. Welcome, Miss Jordan. And so glad you have joined us. Everyone else who's out there, feel free to let us know who you're here for and, of course, where you're tuned in from. This is going to be a real test for St. James FC. I dare say probably the youngest team in this conference. They have plenty of players from their U19 and below MLS Next programs. And this, of course, is an opportunity to play a bona fide semi-professional side that has gone on, has even defeated professional teams in each of the last 2 years. Remember, a couple years ago, Virginia Dream, this very same Virginia Dream, going down to Richmond and beaten USL side Richmond Kickers by a score of 3-1. They did it again this year in Carolina against the Carolina core of the MLS Next Pro. And now, of course, they are here in the UPSL. St. James looking for their first points. They will play right to left wearing their navy blue kits with white trim. Virginia Dream, of course, will wear their traditional pink kits with white bottoms. Brendan O'Neill will have the call today, and a capable and experienced set of referee crew at his back. Looks like a couple of switches to both sides. Then Patton is the projected starting goalkeeper for St. James. In front of him, we'll have Colin Jackson as well as Jackson Atuobi. We'll get into the starting lineup in just a moment as they are, but up top it looks like number 3, Oluwasi Onyenyen, will get the first kick for St. James, who will start on the ball. Again, playing right to left, Dream playing left to right. And we are underway here at George Mason. St. James electing to knock this one around all the way back to Jackson, and the pressure is immediately there from the Dream. There's Ibrahim Conte, ball off his feet in a hurry. St. James have done well to withstand the pressure. Here is Jackson out wide. Tuobi got it off his feet, but the pressure is there, and that's the crucial pass to beat this pressure and break what seemed like a hopeless situation. Down the line it goes. St. James working against O'Neill. Emerson will keep this on the ground. Good ball movement. It was via Toro. Now all the way back it goes. Ventura turns. Conte right on his back, but smart play from Ventura. And now Jackson will dictate play from the middle. He's got help right at his side. And Slavov's challenge pays dividends, but the second pass from Osefesu cut out well. Onyenyen able to intervene, and now it will go all the way back to the St. James number 1. Thanks for joining us here on DMV Sports Media live on YouTube. Beautiful pass out down the line, and the touch from Onyenyen keeps possession for St. James. Finally, Lovinger able to intercede and win it back. Campbell will send it out to Owen Lobo, and there is a foul. There's going to be a set piece to break up the play. Dream will keep possession in any case. And we're right back in. This is DeShields, who's been a rock. Huge addition for the Dream in this offseason. A really important piece in this back line, especially with no Harry Hawkins today for the Dream. They will look to DeShields to be that vocal presence organizing the back line. And another addition for the Dream I noticed is Jake Boyle, a well-known entity from Maryland Bobcats, making his first start for the Dream today. But we'll hold that taut. There's a set piece for the Dream. It's Diarra Zumana to send it in, one of his signature whipping balls, and Virginia Dream have bodies in that box to take advantage. Here's the ball from Diarra, up and over everyone, and that is the commentator's curse if I've ever heard it. It's a poor delivery by his lofty standards and may have gotten into the wind. St. James FC will have a throw on the near touchline. Dream sending bodies forward to lock this one in. It's down the line, and that is going to go the way of the Dream. It was Suleiman Bekov who got the final touch. Now it's Conte putting it back to Aspera Slavov. Slavov, of course, no stranger to this campus. He played his ball at George Mason University and would love to get some goals or at least some contributions at his old alma mater. Here is Slavov forcing the ball back to this near side. Lovely slaloming move down the line from Suleiman Bekov now on the ball, working against O'Neill. O'Neill got the better of that one. Stabbing challenge, had to get it right, and able to win possession for the Dream. Now it is Lobo. Didn't like what he saw and will go back in order to go forward. Lovinger skipped, and it is DeShields. There's Slavov, back to DeShields, and now Lovinger will get onto the ball. Plenty of time to orchestrate something down the line. Lobo sees something, couldn't thread the needle, but may get a second bite at the apple. Lobo is down, and it looks like has won a set piece. No, it's given as a throw. Or is it? No, excuse me, it is a set piece. Oh, and Lobo, shifty as always, able to engineer something, and now we'll send it short. Ibrahim Conte threading the needle to Osefesu. That's a great block from Suleiman Bekov, and now out of the air to Shields. Just a safe touch to take it out at the midline. Connor Cobrine will leave this one off, and St. James gonna inch forward now with the space they've won. This is quickly sent down the line. Cobrine walking the needle, and in the end, it was Lovinger who won the battle. Lovinger again, Slavov over to Jake Campbell, and Dream have found their way out of the pressure. It's back over to Lobo. Lobo able to see the outlet pass forward. It was shifty from Ibrahim Conte. Got there just in the nick of time. And it looks like Conte is still down. Just a bit late. The guilty party deemed to be Jackson that time. It's going to be a set piece just inside of St. James territory. It looks like Lobo will serve this one up. And again, Dream will keep it on the ground. Here comes O'Neal. Right back to DeShields. Plenty of time and space on this near side. Beautiful passing, but the tackle finally comes in. And it looks like it did take a final touch off the Dream player, off of O'Neal. Great work, great tackle for Suleiman Bekov. Down the line it goes. Easy win for DeShields. And now Jackson will get it off his feet. Good strength from Gabriel, and St. James will continue in possession. That was DeBril Fall who helped keep this one going, but O'Neal makes the sliding challenge. Back inside, Lovinger to Slavov. Slavov was there on the near side in space, but no one able to thread that ball. And now St. James will take over. Ooh, unfortunate bounce. Slavov looking to send in early the speedy Diaro Zumana. That's a timely challenge on the far touch from Fall. But Dream will continue in possession. And here comes Osefesu just outside the 18. Went for glory, but it didn't pan out. And St. James, again, unable to play from the back. And there is going to be a set piece in a central area. It looks like that's Connor Cobrine, the guilty party. Lovinger is down. Let's take a look back at the replay. Well, St. James have been at their best. They've been great a couple times playing out, and then on the other end of the spectrum, they've been poor a couple times too in playing out. So if they can find the success we've already seen playing out, they will be able to relieve a lot of this pressure from the back line, but this pressure cannot stand. It's putting a lot on your back line to continue to try to hold back this powerful juggernaut of an offense that Dream have. Lovinger will keep it on the ground. All the way back to Campbell. And again down the line, Conte trying to get out of the pressure. It deflects right into the feet of Connor Cobrine. Cobrine looking down the field. Onyenyen was there, but not going to catch up to that one. Plenty of space for Dream to work into. St. James staying home this time. They're not going to overextend themselves. And here comes DeShields. It's been a patient, measured approach this far. Blistering wind. We'll hold that one up. What a touch out of the air from Diaro Zumana. Still going. The shot and the save. What a stop. That is huge from Zen Patton. We'll come back and look at the replay in a moment, but how did Patton hold on to this one from point-blank range? That is huge confidence boost for this young goalkeeper, and especially for this back line to see what your goalkeeper is capable of. Here comes Ibrahim Conte through the contact. Finally dispossessed. A couple players down, and onwards we play. Onwards we play. St. James able to reset all the way back to Patton. And the wind still very much a factor, working against St. James. Here comes Emerson Villatoro. Smashed it right into Cobrine. Dream will take the rebound. Down the line it goes. Diarra Zumana, never want to get into a foot race with him. He has it on the end line and has lost that battle. Great defensive intervention there. And St. James are forward. Suleiman Bekov turning, still trying to get a leg up on O'Neal, and has run out of real estate here on the near side. That was Atuobi who started that attack for St. James, a really strong challenge to slow down the ever-present Diarra Zumana. And Dream again will slow play this from the back, getting Jake Boyle his requisite touches. Hasn't had a whole lot to do, and don't expect he'll be called on a ton today, but we'll have to stay vigilant. Sometimes those are the most dangerous games for a goalkeeper, when you're not called on a whole lot. Down the line it goes. Suleiman Bekov has time to weigh his options. And now we'll send a beautiful diagonal ball, maybe a little too vertical, and it will drift over the end line for a goal kick. Intended target was Andres Sorensen. Sorensen was one of the bright spots last week against Summit Valley, despite a poor end result. Certainly will be a target to help get down that far touchline. Here comes Lovinger. Down the line for Diarra Zumana. Lobo. Into O'Neal. The pressure is there, and St. James unable to find the second ball. This is DeShields. Back to Boyle again. Dream casual as you like. Just switching the field, and now Campbell will drive. Campbell sees something he likes, will stretch the field. It's Osafesu just on side, sends it across, and again it's Zen Patton coming to the rescue. Another big stop from this young goalkeeper. Had to intervene and stretched out the legs and arms a little bit there. Patton sending one up into the wind. No targets, but it will create at least a little bit of breathing room for St. James. This is a throw all the way in the corner. And, well, perhaps Jake Boyle didn't have enough practice with that type of throw, deemed to be an illegal throw, and possession will change hands, so the long punt from Patton does pay dividends in the end. And it's an opportunity for Villatoro to get up the field and try to send one towards the 18. At long last, we have the throw sent in. Slavov, first ball away, second ball sent by O'Neal, and now Ahmed Omani Alawe hasn't had a whole lot to do yet. Tried to thread the needle, his ball cut out of the air. Ball on the far side. Atuobi able to cut this one out and send it back to his goalkeeper. Atuobi has support on both sides. And now down the line it goes to Suleiman Bekov. Suleiman Bekov for Connor Cobrine. It's a foot race, and a foot race won by Lovinger. Looks like there was an offside flag in any case, so wouldn't have counted, but still good defending. Communication at the back from Levenger and Boyle. Quickly sent in, and that's an overcooked diagonal ball in the direction of Diarra Zumana. Now Jackson will find his goalkeeper, Patton, under pressure. He's got a boot on him. We'll send it over the top. And DeShields, ooh, it's a nervy moment. DeShields had to get support. We'll come back and look at this, but it's a physical challenge. Referee deems it to be a legal challenge, and we're going to continue. Down the line we go. It was Onyenyen who was almost in. DeShields and Campbell making the challenge. Now don't look away. It's a tackle on the end line from Atawobi. We're going to come back and look at the big ball down the field that almost found Onyenyen. You're going to see DeShields. DeShields found himself in a really unfortunate predicament, and it very much could have been a foul, but at the perfect moment, Campbell interceded and got to the ball, and I think that's why it wasn't called. Here's Slavov. Conte out of the air, couldn't get over top of that one, and it is going to be a goal kick to come. He's a player with the capability to hit those kind of strikes, Ibrahim Conte, but ball set up a little bit difficult that time. It's going to be a short ball in. Jackson and Patton looking to build from the back, but that may not be the best move. It seemed to not be a back pass, and Patton this time will go a little bit more direct. It's cut out immediately by O'Neill, and Slavov didn't have to wait long to get another bite at the apple. James will try another vertical ball. The wind is causing some issues, I think, for both sides on these long balls. This is Campbell looking for Diarra Zumana. Just able to avoid Cobrine. Deflection causes some problems. And it will be a corner kick. I think that's the right decision, though, from Patton. We've seen players save the ball at the expense of a worse outcome. Yeah, live to fight another day. And of course, Patton able to get back into his net. If he were to save that one, it was kind of touch and go. Osifesi was right there, and at that point you have to beat defender as a goalkeeper when you're at a goal, and that's not a position any goalkeeper wants to find themselves in. Owen Lobo will make the service for the Dream on this beautiful but windy day. There's some extracurriculars in the 6-yard box. Looks like Ahmed Elmani Alawe and one of the St. James players. And now we are ready for the service from Lobo. Lobo's ball into a dangerous area. Needs a clearance. There's the shot. Beautiful save. Somehow has been blocked. We have to come back and look at that. I believe it was Patton, although can't say. Too many bodies. Here's Atawobi working against Osifesu, and Atawobi is whistled for the foul. Here's a look back. Ball pinballed around. The shot was taken, and yeah, that is another save for Patton. So already Zen Patton putting together a highlight performance today, but how long can he keep this up? A lot of pressure being put on this back line, a lot of pressure being put on this young goalkeeper. There's Diarra Zumana with the set piece. He certainly can hit these from this range. Don't be surprised if he tries to find one on target. It's a little low, and that is really uncomfortable as a goalkeeper when it's hit right outside of your range on the ground. You don't want to come for it for fear of not getting there, but if you let it go, your defenders are facing their own net. Let's take a look back at this service from Diarra Zumana. Able to put it behind the defenders, but just in front of the goalkeeper, and St. James FC fortunate that time. This one sails a little bit outside the range of Suleimanbekov. Quickly pursued by Onyenyen. DeShields does have the outlet pass. O'Neal now will try to switch the point of attack. Onyenyen is there, and Lovinger atoned for his own mistake. Ooh, that's a back pass. And it's going to be a set piece, an indirect kick inside of the 18-yard box. This is certainly an interesting moment. Let's take a look back. Poyle seemed pretty confident, and that's a bit harsh. It did seem like that was a challenge, a defensive tackle, and by the laws, that is not deemed as a back pass, even if it did come off the Dream player. But that's how it's being adjudicated, so Dream will have to stack bodies in the box. St. James, this is a massive opportunity. Let's see how they're able to take advantage. Onyenyen and Connor Cobrine are on the ball. Here it is, sent across. The shot into the side netting, and no harm, no foul. Dream fortunate to get through that situation. Let us know in the chat what your thoughts are. It certainly didn't look a back pass, but perhaps the ball doesn't lie. Play will continue. Here's Diarra Zumana to the end line, has somehow found a way to stay in, walking the tightrope. Now Lobo for Slavov. AP Slavov, the George Mason graduate. You're playing at his alma mater again. I don't know if the team ever played on this field, probably over in the stadium, but certainly he's familiar with all these fields on this campus. And it's going to be a set piece for St. James coming out. Well, we got plenty of activity in the chat. This has been a game I've struggled to look away from. I'm going to shout out everyone in a moment, but thanks for everyone for joining us here on DMV Sports Media. Really appreciate your patronage. Conte sends it forward, goes down. No foul called, but Dream have won it back. And it will go against the Dream. Dream right now not happy with the decisions, but we'll have to quickly reset. Lobo. This time in space, and no, he's got his pocket picked. It's Onyenyen now. Campbell able to win that battle, and Slavov is there to help Dream get out. So Fesu now. Back in to Slavov. Campbell will try a vertical ball up the field. Lobo, the nearest potential recipient, but Zen Patton is well off his line. Welcome, Dennis. Great to see you. Mr. Taylor, of course. Welcome, Orca Girl. Benito Lobo. It's not in St. James. This is George Mason. Oh, here's the chance from Diarra Zumana. Again, Patton is there. Gobbling this one up just ahead of any would-be recipients. Then Patton's clearly the MVP today. Has been St. James's last line of defense. We'll try a booming ball upfield in the direction of Onyenyen, but that time Dream able to settle it down without too much controversy. Campbell. And now Boyle again. It's Taylor watching all the way from Fernandina Beach, Florida. Beach doesn't sound too bad right now, but we got some nice weather anyways. Welcome, Luis. And now it's Diarra Zumana. He's in. He's got a man in the middle. Will cut. Top of the box it goes. Golazo, and there it is. Ibrahim Conte, the first-time strike. Absolutely unsavable into the top corner. And Dream have found their way through with the first goal of the match. Took a little while, but Dream found a quality little counterattack there. Give Diarra Zoumana all the credit for this unselfish look to find his colleague streaking to that top 18. We'll take another look back at this replay as St. James look to get us back underway. There's the run down the line from Diarra Zoumana. Owen Lobo deserves credit as well, but Ibrahim Conte absolutely unstoppable from that range. He knew exactly where he wanted to put it, put his foot through it, didn't get too far under it. And now we are on our way. First goal here in the 26th minute. Virginia Dream leading after 26 minutes of scoreless. Fair. This is Adewobi down the line. Still going. Ooh, that's a hard collision. Play stopped for a set piece. That's Adewobi whistled. Dream pleading their case. No card though. Here's another look back. Adewobi decided to go forward, able to get past Diarra Zoumana. And Lowen took the brunt of that one. It was harsh. Bit of contact, but everyone's okay. Now Campbell will send it over to DeShields. Good little turn from Lovinger. And now it's Conte again, our lone goal scorer, trying to find a ball into the 18. St. James send it away. It's DeShields again. O'Neill will put this one back down on the turf. We got Bella watching from Georgia and Madeline Chapman tuned in all the way from South Georgia. This is a good battle on the far touchline. Again, Diarra Zoumana and Adewobi. And the final touch comes off of the St. James defender. Will be another corner kick. And Diarra Zoumana, of course, will be the taker. Oh, the wind certainly a factor here. Diarra Zoumana can really whip these, and with the wind on his side, we'll try a low ball. Doesn't beat the first man. Second bite at the apple for Diarra Zoumana. Well, sits down two defenders, sends it across. Easy pick out for Suleimanbekov. Now Conte will try to thread one in behind. It's to the back post. And it looks like Campbell was able to get there. Now into the feet of O'Neill. Ryan O'Neill will spread one down the field. Back to Osifesu. And of course the Shields will continue sending it over. Lobo. Well, that's great defending. And St. James are forward. That was Adewobi who was able to time the challenge well. And Suleimanbekov gave the referee all the opportunity to give that call. I don't know if it was going to be called initially, but looked about as guilty as anyone, just absolutely stopping play. Now it's back in the feet of St. James. Adewobi will try to find a vertical ball. A little too direct. St. James didn't have any recipients in the area. The Shields now. They'll start from the back. And it's Osifesu slaloming one defender and finally running into a wall of blue. Back again. Jackson will use Patton, who's been reliable today. Patton right back down the line. And there's a good win from DeShields, but it's deemed to be a foul. Maybe DeShields went through the back of the player. We'll take a quick look back. Yeah, DeShields had to go through the man in order to get to the ball. And it looks like Andre Sorensen is off. There's a switch that's been made. Good ball from Jackson to find Suleimanbekov. Now Connor Cobrine. No, it is the cross in. The offside flag goes. Suleimanbekov in behind this back line. But it was still a really good sequence of play. St. James showing that they can create space and not afraid to go at this Virginia Dream side. The wind really whipping now. It's blowing from right to left on your screen, so right now working against, or rather in favor of St. James, so it has turned a little bit. And we're back underway. Lobo to Lovinger. And Ibrahim Conte threading the needle for Osifesu, who will get to the end line. That's physical defending, able to muscle the Dream player off the ball. Slavov making himself a nuisance, but St. James able to deal. Ventura will go back in order to go forward. Just narrowly escaping the Dream pressure. Forward, this one goes. Game of ping pong back and forth across the half. Dream come down and we'll keep it on the ground. Good win from Adewobi and Jackson to get a little breathing room for the St. James. Dream will slow play this one from the back. It's Campbell. And Boyle was trying to invite the pressure, open up some spaces. Good overlapping run, but Adewobi able to keep pace with Owen Lobo and has won that battle. The overlapping run is there. Beautiful build-up play from the St. James. Can they keep it going? Suleimanbekov back inside. Now Cobrine. Looking for that killer pass that has evaded St. James today. It was an excellent piece of counter-attacking play, but no teeth, no venom on the end of the attack. Now here comes Slavov. Spreading it over to Diarra Zumana, has been the point man going forward for the Dream. Diarra Zumana with the strike. What a save from Zen Patton. Another stop from this star young goalkeeper. Take a look at the slalom move from Diarra Zumana and the final strike. Staying in the hands of Patton. We'll see another corner kick on this blustery day. Here comes the delivery from Owen Lobo. Back post. Fall got his head to it, but not a full clearance, and that is not the connection the Dream would have liked. Well up and over as we move into the 34th minute. If you're just joining us, welcome to our presentation, our broadcast of the UPSL Virginia North Premier Conference. This is St. James hosting Virginia Dream here at beautiful George Mason University campus in Fairfax, Virginia. Good win that time from Ryan O'Neill as Osifesu tries to find a way down the line. The lone goal today did come by way of Ibrahim Conte, one-time strike assisted by Diarra Zumana. But still very much a game that hangs in the balance here in the final 10 minutes of this first half. There's Lobo losing his footing, but worked out in the end. Lobo able to get back up and keep the Dream possession alive. Overlapping run, Lobo back to Lovinger. Now it's Conte into the 18. Conte takes the strike, and Conte has netted a second goal for the Dream and for himself. Ibrahim Conte on the brace now, will celebrate in the corner. And that is a masterful strike with that left foot. Didn't need a second invitation. And Zen Patton powerless to keep this one out from point-blank range. Virginia Dream. It took a little while to get going. Got to credit St. James for slowing down the Dream, but they would not be denied. 2 goals to the good. Let's take another look back at the replay as we move towards the end of this first period. Good assist from Jake Lovinger. And you knew once you saw Ibrahim Conte with that much space in the St. James 18 that the verdict was all but assured. Second goal for Conte, a second goal for the Dream. St. James undeterred. They certainly look better than last week away, and I think they will find some success this season. Just a new league and a new contest, and certainly a big one today. Ahmad Elmani Alawe was just behind the St. James back line. Good organization from St. James back line that time. And down the line we go. That's an advantage given. Is there a service? Strong play. A lot of pink shirts there, and now Dream have won it. Diarazumana has the outlet pass. And he'll engineer some space. Settle things back down, going back in order to go forward. Now to Shields into O'Neal. O'Neal will try to find something over the top. Ahmed Elmani Alawe. Now Zumana fighting the needle. Slavov is there. Now Elmani Alawe through traffic. What a save from Patton. Second ball. Oh, how has Ibrahim Conte missed that one? It looked he was destined to find his hat trick, but instead it was wide. St. James spared a third. Look at this masterful play in the 18 from Ahmed Elmani Alawe, and even better save from Zen Patton, making the low block save from point-blank range. The 39th minute is upon us, and St. James will play short again. Jackson back to his goalkeeper. It's popped straight up in the air. And O'Neal just ran out of the real estate there. This is Kenneth Owerang to take the throw. Looking for Rafkinov. Good switch of the play. Now St. James have bodies in the mix. It's Connor Cobrine. Cobrine got a touch to it and has won a corner kick now. Massive set piece with the wind. Oh, excuse me, it went over the side. Hard to see from our angle over here. But it will be a set piece nonetheless. Well, it's sent just outside the 18. Dream have broken the pressure. Diarazumana down the line. Still going. Look at the acceleration from Diarazumana. And now We'll send it back to Conte. Now Osifesu in a battle with Kenneth Awirang. Awirang did enough to slow down Osifesu, but in doing so has conceded the corner kick. So Dream with another set piece. Haven't found a lot of success from these today. There's always a chance. And it looks like Jake Lovinger will try his hand this time. Here's the delivery. It's lifted high and well cleared there by Davian Chilangwa. Now the service, top of the 18. Slavov puts it down. And now it's a chance for Lovinger. Oh, it's a beautiful ball. But Ahmed Almani Alawe would have been offside anyway. The flag had gone. But that was a tasty ball from Lovinger. Just outside the range of his teammates. We're into the final 5 minutes, 41st minute, just about 4 minutes and whatever stoppage we get. We're into the final 4 minutes. Virginia Dream 2 Ibrahim Conte goals are the difference right now. But St. James have certainly looked, I'd venture to say, the best that they have this season. And they're building into what their capabilities are. Here's Diarra Zumana in transition. Ahmed Almani Alawe, and that is a dagger here at the end of the half. Ahmed Almani Alawe off the service from Diarra Zumana in transition. St. James, we talked about this as a key point today. Not conceding possession in the transition. It's so dangerous. Your players are moving forward, and you don't have defense. Let's take a look back at this replay. Credit to Almani Alawe. Looks a simple finish, but did really well to keep this low. Didn't need to add too much power to it from that range. Tuck it low, tuck it wide, put it outside the range of Zen Patton. Not a thing Patton could do. We're at 3-0 here in the 43rd minute. And back again. Go St. James. Awirang will send it inside. Chalangwa now has their front man for St. James and plenty of time trying to engineer something. Ventura couldn't quite connect that pass, and now Lovinger will drive forward through the contact. It's Osifesu, but Awirang was there. Osifesu is still down, and it looks like Dream will try to continue. Yeah, they are going to send it out wide. It's Diarra Zumana, and now it's time to actually check on the player. I don't believe it was a head injury, so not mandated to stop. Dream decided to keep going, but it looked like Osifesu would not get back to his feet. And he may have to come off and get a look by the trainer. I hope the best to Osifesu. McMurdy, good to see you. She says Jake Lovinger, UMW legend. I thought you were the Mary Washington legend, Mr. McMurdy. Great to see everyone. This is a light day for DMV Sports Media. I don't have a whole lot going. We'll come back to that in a minute. And this is Conte rounding one man, and now the final ball falls harmlessly into the arms of Patton. I think it's a good intercession from Jackson to make a challenge and put off the Dream. Here is Jackson. Ooh, costly turnover in transition. Diarra Zumana all by himself, rounding the goalkeeper, and will tuck it home. Diarra Zumana would not be denied. Patton stretched about as far as he could go, but That's a costly concession right here in the 45th minute, end of the half. 4-0. Diarra Zumana, for all his service, gets a goal of his own. And it is 4-0. Here's another look back. It was a turnover. Diarra Zumana able to capitalize. Didn't see who that assist came from. Let's take one more look. Believe it was Ibrahim Conte or Slavov. But St. James will try to pull something back here. With certainly a little bit of stoppage to utilize. There's been some injuries. There's been some stoppage moments. So perhaps one or two more opportunities downfield. Ahmed Elmani Alawe shaping it to the near side. Here's Owirang. Into the middle. What a turn. Oh, Anyenyen. And this is looking promising. Ventura to the corner. And Owen Lobo is there. It would have been offside in any case. And it looks like it will be a set piece coming out. And that is going to do it for your first half. Virginia Dream 4, St. James FC 0. First two goals were Ibrahim Conte. Ahmed Elmani Alawe has netted one as well. And then Diarra Zumana netting one here at the tail end of the half. And that will wrap up the first period. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate you joining us here on DMV Sports Media, live on YouTube. As I said, not a lot of matches tonight. At 9 p.m., we will cover World Class Premier and Doratus in the Super Soccer League Virginia Conference match. We will have 6 Super League matches broadcast up in Maryland, up in Baltimore tomorrow all day long. And then MSI Pro and the Maryland Bobcats will have live at 7 p.m., as well as the 3 p.m. U.S. National Amateur Cup match between Los Toros and Westchester of East Pennsylvania. Tune in live, that one at 3 p.m. And, of course, we will have 8 p.m. Doratus hosting the ASA Reds live on our channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you for the second half. Thanks for joining us. Well, hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is second half here in this UPSL Virginia North Premier Conference regular season match, week 3. St. James FC hosting Virginia Dream here on a lovely day in George Mason's Fairfax campus. This is the main campus, RAC. That's Recreation Activities Community Field. Virginia Dream found a lot of success, albeit at the end of the first half. St. James looks like they were going to hold the dam. They were staying in the match. Zen Patton was called on time and again to make heroic save after heroic save, but 2 goals from Ibrahim Conte helped to break the seal, and then contributions from Ahmed El-Manialawe and Diarra Zumana have presented quite a mountain for St. James FC to climb if they want to contest for this one. Did see a few chances early on from St. James, but really not a whole lot for Jake Boyle and really for this back line to do in the match. But 45 minutes left to play. Never want to write a team out in the world of sports. Unexpected things can happen. And we will see what is in store for the second half. It looks like much the same 11 will take the field. Ahmed El-Manialawe up top on the wing. Osefesu, flanked by Diarra Zumana, Asparaslavov, and Ibrahim Conte in the attacking midfield. And then Owen Lobo, Jake Lovinger, Mike DeShields, and Ryan O'Neill in the back line, with Jake Boyle continuing to hold it down from the number 1 spot in goal. Meanwhile, some changes look like they are in store for St. James FC. Similar back line with Adewobi right in front of Zen Patton. Junior Lara Portillo has come on. Well, looks like Adewobi is off, excuse me. So Adewobi will not start the second half. There's another defensive switch, so we'll get to all those switches in a moment. But Dream will start off on the ball. St. James still making switches. Quite a few. They're still shuffling things around. And we'll see how that impacts their mentality for the start of the second half. It doesn't look like they had a real idea of how they were going to start the second half. Dream, they've been on the field for quite a while now, and it's continuity of the same starting 11. This could be an opportunity for the Dream to gain an early advantage in the second half, that is. Here's DeShields for O'Neill. Trying to move around the St. James formation now. Lovinger will send DeShields a ball. DeShields trying to cut one out. Well intercepted now over the top from Portillo, but couldn't quite thread the needle. And it will be a throw for DeShields and company. Juan Rendon has also stepped on. Rendon was a standout performer last week against Summit Valley. Ooh, that's a poor pass from DeShields. And an opportunity squandered. That was not really anywhere near Onyenyen. And Dream able to escape another near costly mistake. Lobo will send it right back across for DeShields. Here comes Osefesu. O'Neill. And DeShields again. Now it's over the top. Diarra Zumana will take it to ground, working against That's a good intervention from Kenneth Awerang. Awerang has come up big defensively several times and will certainly be called on again. Now Campbell into the feet of O'Neal. Lovinger will keep it going. Now Owen Lobo looking for a service. He'll send it, but that is overcooked over the end line. Goal kick to come. Not really the direction that Lobo would have liked to find, and St. James will have an opportunity to build from the back. This is sent early on the ground. Portilla sends it forward. Good play between those, and now Slavov deemed to be in an offside position. Osifesu thought he got it off his feet in time, but it won't count. Good line from St. James that time. Nicholas Falcone has also stepped on in the midfield. From the wing, excuse me, to help the vertical presence of St. James FC. Good ball from O'Neal. Slavov will keep it on the ground. Osifesu now finding this pocket of the midfield. And now Diarra Zamana, plenty of green grass in front of him, working against Falcone. And finally, we'll send it in. Here's Conte, still looking for his hat trick. We'll send it in to the back post. Osifesu couldn't quite track that one down, but it was a good look from Conte. Conte certainly finding a lot of success here at Virginia Dream. He was a player in Arlington SA's lineup for so long, has come over here to the Dream, and of course has had tons of success. He also has experience playing overseas in Sierra Leone. Certainly has been a huge addition in the offseason. What a touch from Diarra Zamana to take that out of the air. The second act, not quite as impressive. Got all the way under that one. And it's a goal kick to come for St. James. It's a beautiful touch, though. Another player with professional experience under his belt. As I understand, Diarra Zamana came over here to the States on a contract to play with Loudoun United, but has found a home here with the Dream the last few years. Oh, Slavov, pocket picked. And Anawobi is forward. The offside flag is gone. It was from an earlier pass, so wouldn't have counted. It just took a minute to register. Let's take a look. Yeah, just by a shoulder, a fraction of a margin. That one just offside. Down the line, it's Diarra Zamana now with an early delivery to Lobo, but Owireng was there. And again, Kenneth Owireng to the rescue. Second ball bounces fortuitously for Conte. Conte directing traffic and finding DeShields. Now it's O'Neal back to Osifesu on the overlap. Osifesu still driving. Can he get this off his feet? Yes, he can. Osifesu, that's a timely challenge. Diarra Zamana picking up the pieces. Couple of hopeful challenges coming in, but Dream's still on the ball. It's Campbell directing the ball down the line. Wanted to find Lobo. Lobo has got it. Fortunate bounce as Owireng was there. No Oben Lobo. We'll find Lovinger. Couple of maybe blue shirts. Here's Jackson in traffic, and that gives away a foul. I think that's a smart foul to give because that is not the transition you want to see. Excuse me, that is Onyenyen, who dropped in deep all the way from his number 9 role. Excuse me, Jackson had stepped off at halftime. That's a mistake. Onyenyen giving away that set piece, and Diarra Zamana is going to be the taker for Virginia Dream. from this range, about 20 yards out, just outside this near side of the 18. Will send it for a teammate, back post. Oh, that was a perfect delivery, but Almani Alawe couldn't quite read it in the air. And now Patton will go big. Shields covered a lot of ground to get there, and it's right back in possession of the Dream inside of St. James turf. Good win. Suleiman Bekov wanting some space for his team. It will be a throw on that far touchline. Here comes Conte. Conte lifts one towards Diarzumana. Diarzumana, what a tackle there from Kenneth Awirang. Covered step for step with Diarzumana, which is no small task. St. James have found another set piece inside their own territory. Oh, that's a beautiful little switch pass. Falcone drives back inside. Down the line, shifty from Fall. And now it's going to be a set piece. An unfortunate area. Take a look back at the foul from the Dream player. That was Lobo, who took a stab at the ball but couldn't get there, and clear foul. Now Onyenyen has to make this count. These set pieces could give St. James a footing back into the game. It's a low delivery, not going to clear Campbell, but St. James still on the ball. Rendon out to the wide area, and that attack peters out. Lovely touch from Almani Alawe. The second touch let him down. And now St. James will knock it around their back line. Ventura. Olara. Portillo. That's kind of a errant pass. No recipient and no intended target. Dream happy to start back from square one. And of course, with the 4-goal margin, they're in no real rush to force the issue, but that is not what is going to do it. An uncharacteristic mistake from Slavov. And now St. James forward. Portillo couldn't quite get it through. Conte back all the way to Boyle. And Boyle will switch the side of play. That's a lovely turn from Slavov. Excuse me, from Lovinger. Now to Shields will send it back over. Flicked over the top. The weight was good, but Awirang was there, as we've come to expect. Kenneth Awirang has been a bright spot in this back line. Good touch from Lara Portillo. St. James have bodies in support. Oh, it's a late challenge from Osifesu, and Osifesu will pick up the card. It's just a bit of a accumulation card, I think. Nothing super deserving of that specific foul, but the fouls are racking up now. And Brendan O'Neill, our match official, felt that was the moment to assert control. That piece on that far side. St. James looking to play short, but doesn't look like there are any good options there. And that's immediately sniffed out by Diarzumana. Conte couldn't get on the end of it. And there is space on this near side, but that is not where this ball will go. Dream maintaining their presence on that far side. Ventura will send it back to the feet of Patton. Patton, as always, has been a reliable outlet pass for St. James, drawing in pressure and trying to open up space, but didn't pan out that time. Onyenyen able to get a touch to it. No. Onyenyen back in the middle. Good turn from Lara Portillo. There's space on this near side. Ooh, off the ball. Portillo goes down. That is going to be a set piece. Just about midfield. Two players getting tangled up. And there's Connor Cobrine turning this one upfield. DeShields was there first. And here's Diarra Zumana back to Conte. Those two have been massive already in Virginia Dreams season. Diarra Zumana and Ibrahim Conte. And now it's down the line. The touch just outside the range of Lobo. And I think that's one of those combination plays that we'll see Dreams start to execute as we get deeper in the season. But not quite the accuracy from the bounce pass. Now we will see a switch. Ahmed Almani Alawe has gotten a goal to his name, but he will come off now, and it's both Osifesu brothers taking the field at the same time now. Toby Osifesu and Olufela Osifesu. Okay, the Weirang back in order to go forward. Dream have won it. Here's Slavov. Levinger, Slavov, and now Zumana. Ooh, Levinger's pocket picked. It's down the line. Cobrine has to make a decision. Didn't like what he saw. Will keep going, and there's a sea of pink there. But to his credit, didn't have a lot of great options, but found himself very much alone. And now it's a direct ball through. Slavov gives chase. Good intervention, and Patton will put it right back through the middle. Ventura, a combination play. Onyenyen is there. Onyenyen's final ball is a good one. Suleymanbekov, can he find a window? The shot! Oh, what a save from Jake Boyle. The former Maryland Bobcat coming up big in his first match for the Dream. What a strike, though. St. James, their best opportunity of the match, and they may try to play short. We'll hold off on the replay, as it looks like St. James will try to engineer something. Take a look at this strike from Onyenyen, mirroring what we saw. Oh, we'll take a look as Schultz for handball. Didn't get a clear look from my angle, but we'll take another look, and there is going to be a handball here on this near side. Let's take a look back at the delivery from Falcone. Well, we didn't get a good angle. Apologies. We're still tied up on that save replay, but no VAR here anyways. Here's Onyenyen. Still going with Osifesu in tow. Good little turn. Lara Portillo pocket picked. And it looks like it is given in favor of St. James. And it looks like we will see a switch. Osifesu replaced by Demetrius Shepard-Lewis. Huge presence who can get up the field with a vertical presence, and he is incredibly physical on the defensive side as well. So Dream keeping the level high and adding some fresh legs onto the field here. Good win. Toby Osifesu driving. And fall is there. Good turn from Fall. And he will give away. No, it's given as a foul against the Dream. And onwards we play. Lundbekov will go out wide. Now on Yenyin, finding a second breath. And that's given as a foul. Did look like the ball was won, but I guess we don't have the same angle. Oh yeah, it's the foul for the initial contact from behind, not for the challenge on the ball from O'Neal. I think that one is going against Lovinger. It's a good call. Good back pass to Conte. Conte will lift one up. Demetrius Shepard-Lewis. I always call him the bull in a china shop. A rare combination of speed and power. Now we'll get to the end line cuts. And now here is the square ball in the direction of Diarra Zumana. Conte takes it down. Back out to Zumana. Diarra. Now Lobo. Weirang is there. Kenneth Weirang. Timely challenge. And St. James can get forward. Here comes Kenneth Weirang. Making defenders miss. Needed to release that one a little sooner. And well, it's going to be a foul. Going to be a set piece in a central area, an opportunity for St. James to try to stack bodies around this 18. Although at the moment it just looks like they're going to try to keep this on the ground. And Yenyin on the ball. We'll send it towards the corner. But O'Neal is there to diffuse any danger. Still going, Ryan O'Neal. Now Ventura, the fulcrum point for this attack of St. James. And that is going to be a set piece. Following players left and right and finding a set piece around midfield. And we're right back underway. Down the line. That's a clever little touch. O'Brien will turn. Shot from distance. Well snagged. Good strike from Fall. But Jake Boyle able to read it all the way. Dream now will build from the back. Jake Lovinger has his man out wide. Osifesu. The early delivery. Diarra Zumana will get there. Can he square it from the end line? Instead, looks like Diarra's going to turn. Diarra, top of the 18. No recipients, and St. James are out. Lundbekov down the line for Cobrine. DeShields picking the pocket. Perfectly timed challenge. And now Dream back on the ball. Here in the 67th minute. Campbell. Osifesu now back to Lobo. Good combination, but the final pass kind of anticlimactic. Yenyin's pocket picked, and now all the way back to Campbell. Lovinger, Conte, and O'Neal. And Lobo knew exactly where he wanted to go. Osifesu has wheels, working against Kenneth Avirang. Good block from Onyenyen. And Dream will have this throw here on the near touchline. Trying to find a weakness in St. James, who have bodies back. Now good turn. Diarra has Osifesu. What a turn from Osifesu. And he has worked his way back into the 18. Squares it. Diarra shoots. And it takes a touch off of the St. James defender and goalkeeper. Will be a corner kick to come. That's heroic defending to put off Diarra and deny him a second. We'll take a look back at the replay. Here was Osifesu's service to Diarra that asked the question and almost allowed a fifth for the Dream. Lovinger, the University of Mary Washington product, to make the service here in the 68th minute. It's a good delivery, directed towards frame, and that's the goal. DeShields, the Dream center back, getting on the score sheet with his first goal of the season, and I think the defenders always seem to get a little extra love on the celebration, and they put one in the back of the net. Virginia Dream 5, and of course St. James still to net their first today. Here's a look back at the replay. Good delivery from Lovinger. And DeShields jockeyed for his spot, got there, didn't really have to jump all that high, if at all. Just redirect it simple into the far net. And I think St. James will want to contest that a little bit more when they look back at the film. But lessons learned. Meanwhile, Dream making a sub at looks like that's O'Neill who has come off. Onyenyen turning and driving towards the space. Going to make a decision in time. Lovinger has won it. Onyenyen again. Second bite at the apple. Connor Cobrine back towards Onyenyen. Just too many pink shirts in the center of the pitch. Slavov has Voxman. Henry Voxman down the line. Shepard Lewis gives chase. And that's good goalkeeping from Zen Patton, as Shepard Lewis was bearing down on that ball. Goalkeeper came shooting out like a cannonball. A battle. And O'Neill has won that. That was a good turn. Osifesu certainly looked like some contact there, but Dream getting away with it. Sent back towards O'Neill, now over the top. Ooh, that is a perfect service. Slavov is there. AP Slavov off the net, off the sidebar. And it doesn't get any closer than that. AP Slavov with a resounding strike off of the crossbar. Excuse me, off the side post. Oof. Had that one dead to rights, but couldn't quite tuck it home here in his alma mater, Aspera Slavov. And Dream will build from square one again. This is O'Neill. And I believe I misspoke. O'Neill not the player to come off. That was Owen Lobo, replaced by Henry Voxman. Here is Shepard Lewis driving towards the end line. Demetrius Shepard Lewis. There's a timely challenge made, and Fall will look upfield. These are the moments where St. James have to find a little bit more clinicality. Onyenyen, that's a clever turn, but he is in an offside position. The initial pass deemed to be offside. Let's take a look. Onyenyen just behind the back line, needed to come check his run back inside, but instead Dream will have a set piece. Lovinger, now O'Neill. Fesu will walk the tightrope here on the near touchline. To Shields. Diarra Zumana fighting for his position. Now has gotten it off his feet. Waxman. Sulamanbekov dropping in the nick of time. Good turn. Fall needs to get off his feet, but fortunate because there was nowhere to go that time. Foul committed just inside of St. James territory, and looks like St. James will make another switch. That's Ventura coming off. Yosef Saeed, who has come on. And Dream back on the ball. There's Conte. To Shields, now Waxman. Drive across the midfield. Shields rose well. Puts it right back into St. James territory, but Jabril Fall is there to restart St. James's possession. It's in the direction of Cobrine, but far too direct. Jake Boyle able to step out. We're on to the 75th minute. 15 minutes left to play in this 5-0 Virginia North Conference match. Dream still in the driver's seat, just dictating the play with their possession. Diarra Zumana drops in to help maintain that position. Fesu back to O'Neal. Now in the corner. What a ball from Ryan O'Neal. Shepard Lewis able to get there. Oxman turns. And now it is Diarra Zumana. What a save from Patton. Ball still in the mix. And Patton still there. Coming up with big stops. There's O'Neal making the intervention. Down the line it goes. And Toby Osafesu coming up short. That's a good win from Kenneth Avirang. But the outlet pass left something to be desired. Shepard Lewis, Diarra Zumana. Diarra Zumana, clever, but Patton again coming up big. Touchdown, golazo, and there's the hat trick. Ibrahim Conte with the third goal of the match, 6th for Virginia Dream, and it's been a quality half for St. James defensively. Finally, the dam breaks with another Ibrahim Conte goal. Take a look back at the replay. It was initially a great stop from Patton, but in the end could not deny the second point-blank strike from Ibrahim Conte, and Dream have found another goal. Well, been a tough match here for St. James, but there's been lots of good things to build on. UPSL foul right at midfield. And Jabril Fall will take it. He's got options, but we'll just play it short. Ball up top. Cobrine bounces it back to Portillo. Laura Portillo. Beautiful ball into the corner. All squared, but DeShields is in the right place. And we're going to have a corner kick for St. James. Suleimanbekov will stand over this one. An opportunity to pull something back. James looking for their second goal of the season. Back post. No one's home, and Dream will have a throw on this near touch. Just a little over 10 minutes to go in this UPSL Premier Conference match. No more UPSL matches live today, but we will have MSI Pro hosting the Maryland Bobcats, of Dorados hosting ASA Reds. And of course, we will have a whole host of Super Soccer League matches, as well as the USASA National Amateur Cup regional play between Los Toros of Virginia and Westchester of East Pennsylvania. Here's the square ball. Osifesu stopped again by Patton. What a stop. And in a 6-0 scoreline, you'd hardly want to call the goalkeeper the MVP, but that certainly has been the case today. He has been absolutely standing on his head at times. Here it is again, the kick save through traffic. Patton again has to be my MVP, at least for St. James. Made stop after stop. Here's another opportunity for the Dream. Falls flat. Falcone gets it off his feet in time. Oh, that's a poor clearance. Diarra Zumana lines up the shot, takes it on, and would not be denied. Diarra Zumana finding his second of the game, 7th for the Dream. And that is a quality finish into the side netting. Diarra Zumana has contributed quite a bit, and now is rewarded with the second goal. Patton almost got there, but just too strong and too perfectly placed. 7-0 here in the 80th minute. Welcome, Miranda Mossy. Good to see Sydney, Australia represented here in the viewership. We've got Florida, Georgia, and Australia. I'm sure I'm missing some. It's down the line on the far touch. Rendon couldn't find any recipients. Dream will square it over to Campbell. O'Neal over the top. And Diarra will sit down one defender. Another great stop there from Patton from point blank range, denying Diarra Zumana would-be hat trick. Take a look back at this stop. Here it comes, service. There's another set piece. Corner kick for the Dream. Put low and flick towards the near posts. Osifesu will run it down. It'll be Osifesu. Gets a set piece just outside the 18. Let's take a look back. I didn't see that as a foul so much, but it is going to be given. And it looks like Lovinger will stand over top. Let's take another look back at the replay. Yeah, maybe a little shove in there that we didn't get a good angle on. It looks like, I believe it's Voxman. I apologize if that's not Henry Voxman. Don't have a roster for Dream today. Here's the kick and another stop. Patton not able to get into safety though. Dream may have a second bite at the apple. Only a partial clearance. Zumana, top of the 18. Conte knocked down, but right back on his feet. And now on Enion, pocket picked. Connor Cobrine was the target. Sulmanbekov pulled back, and that's certainly a foul. And a card to go with it. 84th minute. I'm still ticking down. Saeed's ball doesn't quite connect, and Dream will send bodies forward. Zumana quickly springing Voxman. Takes a deflection, but Saeed is there. And there's no recipient to be found. Just ran out of real estate, and Dream now will commit bodies to this. It's given as a illegal throw. And it looks like it'll go back into the hands of St. James. Zumana pulled back, and it will be a set piece in a central area. Well, a couple potential takers. Zumana looks like he'll let it go for Conte. Conte's screaming ball off the wall. Only partially cleared. Lovinger will put it right back over to Zumana. Now to Shields. Lovinger back to Campbell. Osefesu will drive right at Kenneth Avirang. Osefesu rounds the corner, squares it, back post. And that has gone in. It's Demetrius Shepard-Lewis with the 8th. So nonchalant on the finish. Didn't even know if it had gone into the side netting or not, but that is a goal for Shepard-Lewis. The second half sub, and 8-0 is your scoreline. Lovely little service in there from Osefesu to get to the end line and then square one to that back post where the waiting Shepard-Lewis would not be denied. Quickly, all right, back to the Dream feet. Here comes Osefesu. Some drawing off the ball. Shepard-Lewis with a marvelous pass. Right back to Shepard-Lewis. Can he get another? Well, consolation prize of a corner kick to come. It's a quick service into the feet of Oxman. Now into a great area, partially cleared. O'Neal will take this one on. Not a bad one. Conte on the second effort. Right back. Osefesu not allowing this out. What a touch from Lovinger to take that out of the air. DeShields will keep it alive. O'Neal and Campbell. Just a couple minutes left to play. Dream still enjoying their possession, but possession will not last. That one well picked out. Jabril Fall will walk the tightrope on the far side, but doesn't have a lot of options. We'll have to go back in order to go forward now. Onion. And the service from Falcone a little too direct. Cobrine the intended target, but Boyle was there first. Slavov right back to Campbell, and they will take their time. Getting forward now, Lovinger. Diarra Zumana, and a nice little seam there. Conte, tricky but not effective that time, and Dream trying to pull out the party tricks here late, but probably will do well to get back to the basics. I think I've missed one. I do think that's 8. Oops. I got caught up with the celebration. Ooh, there's a chance, and the foul, just a little overzealous in the pursuit of that one. I believe that was Jabril Fall. But DeShields got to the spot well. Is it 8? Now I'm second guessing myself. Can someone confirm? I need someone to tell me if I got it right. 7 or 8. Here comes Osefesu down the line. Oh, what a move. Still going, slaloming. Oh, the final effort. Conte, by his standards, that is poor. But Osefesu, Toby Osefesu, a lovely run. Just no final product to show for it. It looks like that is going to be your final whistle. Virginia Dream hang on. 8-0 is the final result. Thank you, Esther. I needed your goal tally there, but I knew you would be somewhere to give me the right answer. Lost my tally. I know at least we have 2 goals for Diarra Zumana. And a hat trick, of course, for Ibrahim Conte. Goals also netted by Mike DeShields, Demetrius Shepard-Lewis, and Ahmed El-Mani-Alawe. St. James will get back to work on the road next week, and Dream will go back to the Cloud, Meridian High School Stadium, and we'll have that broadcast live on DMV Sports Media. Of course, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube, and we'll see you next time. Short-form content posted weekly on DMV Sports Media Instagram. Make sure to check us out there, and then we'll have extended highlights on our YouTube page for all matches that we cover. So check back in a couple days for the extended highlights from this match and any other matches you want to get caught up on that you didn't have the time for. We'll be live tonight, 9 p.m. for Doratus and World Class Premiere, and then tomorrow MSI Pro against Maryland Bobcats, and Doratus and ASA Reds in the UPSL in the U.S. National Amateur Cup. We'll have Los Toros and Westchester of Pennsylvania live on the channel at 3 p.m. We'll see you there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a